I'm tired of doing everything for everybody. I'm tired of being everything to everybody. What about me? No, you're not. You're not tired of that type of life, because if you were, you'd get up and you'd do something different. If you don't like it, it means that you'll get back in the driver's seat. You'll get in a pilot seat. You'll go back to your dreams and your goals. You'll take out that old book that had what you want it to be. You'll take out that old calendar that has your steps in there that you wanted to take to get your life in a different position. The dreams that you once had. Oh yes, if you were really tired of having to take what you can get, you'd get back to you. Self-care, self-worth. If you don't feel like you're worth anything, no one else will. Of course, there are more, but today we're only discussing 3 reasons why any individual can find themselves in the uncomfortable position of having to take what they can get. Lack of motivation. When you are not motivated to succeed, when you're not motivated to do for yourself, you become a liability. Oh yes, you are dependent. Why? Because you depend on other people, other individuals. You need a situation to give you a boost. You need someone to come along to pump you up, to get you to do something for yourself. If you're in a case like that, you will have to take what you can get because you don't have the discipline to go and get it for yourself. When you are a self-starter, you don't need a coach to pump you up. You don't need the alarm clock because you're intrinsically motivated to get up each day and do what you need to do for yourself. Whether it's following the routine of what you've put in your memo pad, whether it's going back and looking at your calendar every day to make sure that you're checking off everything that you put down that you needed to do, whether it's regarding your marriage, whether it's regarding your career, no matter what it is, all of this applies. At some point, you have to take off the training wheels and learn how to be committed to yourself. You have to find the discipline. You have to find the motivation to succeed. Same thing applies to home ownership or purchasing a vehicle. If you have not done right by your credit and your finances, you might find yourself leaving the car lot in a vehicle that you had no intentions of driving. You may not be able to get that home when you anticipate it because your credit isn't in the right place. You didn't take the time to repair your credit like you said you wanted to. Now, because you don't want to get it at such a high interest rate, you have to wait another year or two in order to get your finances intact, in order to get your credit at a certain place in order to qualify for a better rate. If someone is telling you they can't make it without you, that's manipulation. And before you know it, mind control follows that. They will continue to say things to keep you in a disastrous situation. They'll be happy with you being in this situation. But you, on the other hand, you will be miserable. And even your misery, you will fake happiness just to please them. That's manipulation. Manipulation says, hey, you don't need to go get a job. I'll take care of you. I'll give you the money. Manipulation tells you, you don't need to look for a position. Just work this job for another 6 years, for another 10 years, and then you can get the promotion. What are you doing outside of your job to expand on what you already know? Are you reading any books? Are you watching any videos? Are you doing online training? Are you sitting in any free classes that maybe your city may offer? There's so many ways that you can expand your knowledge, so many ways that you can advance your skills, many of them complementary. But sometimes we don't take the time out because we're too comfortable, we're not motivated, and you're only willing to give the bare minimum. But how can you step out of taking what you can get when you are only willing to give half shot? You can't give half shot and believe that you're going to receive 100%. It does not happen that way. Even if you see someone sprout to the top very fast, how long do they stay at the top? Without any training at the bottom, without any sacrifices at the bottom. The sacrifices and the training at the bottom and within prepares you to hold your position at the top. So if you're in a place or your circumstances, whether it's your relationship, your job, anything that has you bound, you're smothered. You can't live the way you want to live. You can't vacation the way you want to vacation. Any of those things, if you're not speaking up, if you're not voicing your perspective, if you're not taking action to prove to those around you, to prove to yourself that you desire more, that you are going to get more. If you never step out of the box and aspire with your actions, You will remain in the position of taking what you can get. You might find yourself having to live on someone else's couch, live in someone else's house, playing by their rules, working jobs that you hate. You're getting paid far less than what you deserve. When you don't speak up, expect it. Expect for people to shimmy you around. But when you live a life and when you have the credentials and the experience and the passion and the character and the attitude to command that respect, then you can see a difference in your life. When you give up your personal right to challenge yourself, you opt for the life of taking what you can get. You will constantly and remain in positions and situations where people have to tell you what to do, when you have to seek validation, when you have to seek permission. You don't own yourself. You're like a puppet on a string. And without you speaking up, with you remaining comfortable and never putting the energy towards having more, thinking at a higher level. And when you think at a higher level, you aspire to much more. Well, that concludes today's show. And if you'd like more information on taking what you can get the book, Crazy Enough to Jump. The information for it is down there in the description. I'll also include a picture of it so that you can see what it looks like. And please remember this, just like dwelling at the bottom is a decision, so is rising to the top. Sometimes we make advancement way much more than what it is. We make it more difficult than what it actually is. It's a decision. Just like you make the decision to allow people to puppet you around, you can make the decision to create some standards, create some boundaries, and say, no, not anymore. This is a new me. You guys take care, and I'll see you next time.